Caught my GF. 20 female, of 18 months with another girl. Her absurd reaction. I saw people get a lot of responses on here, so I thought I'd create an account to see what advice anyone can offer. Sorry for the essay. Okay, a little backstory. I'm 22 and my girlfriend, we'll call her Jess, and I have been in a relationship for nearly 18 months. She's very attractive, and in all honesty I wouldn't say I'm a lost cause, but I'm certainly punching a bit. Anyway, last week we were at an exhibition function for our shared university course. It was a fairly normal evening up until I saw her talking to this girl from the other side of the hall. Nothing unusual, I just didn't recognize her. However, when they turned around I noticed the mystery girl had her hand seriously low on my girlfriend's back. I didn't think much of it at the time, but they were completely inseparable for the entire evening. The next week or so we were unusually distant from each other. I wanted to make sure nothing was wrong before I went away. I was going to Bristol for the weekend and I didn't want to leave things on bad terms before I left. But she was having none of it, just being really blunt and such. So I left for my parents, who were giving me a lift to Bristol, but when I got there mum said the old man was ill and we wouldn't be going. At least not today. So, already angry that she didn't tell me this over the phone, I drove back to ours in a foul mood. And that's when I caught her. The front door was off the latch for some reason, so I didn't need my key. I came in the door normally, but kind of stopped when I heard what sounded like Jess giggling. We live on a ground floor flat, so there is no floorboards to creak. As I got closer, I could hear someone, clearly a female, sound quite breathy like panting. At this point I thought Jess might have been having some alone time or something, so I was about to make myself known, until I looked down and saw a pair of worn pink All-Stars that I knew were not Jess's. At this point confusion was starting to build, and as I turned the corner our bedroom door was wide open, and there was the girl from the gallery in my ducking bed and someone was beneath the covers. What the duck is this, I believe, was my first reaction. Gallery girl just stared at me shocked, yet as I called to Jess, something strange happened. Absolutely nothing at all. She just stayed under the covers and didn't move. For what felt like the longest time, I just stood there open-mouthed, until I finally shook myself into action and started to leave. Next thing I know she comes flying out of the door into the hallway of the block, wearing just a pair of knickers and a vest, for God's sake, trying to somehow make this out to be my fault. I literally didn't know what to say. She's freaking out and all I could come up with was, "You're not wearing anything. Get back inside. We'll discuss this later." When I got back to the car the belated rage began to set in. I was angry she cheated, angry she blamed it on me, and angry I didn't say something else. Honestly, it's the most ridiculous, absurd scenario I've ever found myself in, and perhaps that's why I wasn't so angry initially. But now I'm wondering what to do. I didn't know she was into girls. She never mentioned anything like that, and now she's cheated on me with one and we're renting a flat together. Is this just her experimenting? Can we recover? Has anyone been in this situation before? I am at my wit's end here, people. Too long didn't read. Caught girlfriend cheating on me with another girl. Blames me edit. I've just realized how insanely British this all is. So, lift equals ride. Knickers equals panties. Vest equals tank top. Flat equals apartment edit. I've read nearly all of these comments now, and honestly, you guys are pretty much spot on, I'm afraid. I can't go back to her and keep any shred of dignity, especially after I found Gallery Girl on FB earlier and messaged her. She admitted it's been going on a while and is desperate for me not to tell anyone. As much as it would be a poopy move, I'm seriously considering outing them both, knowing her friends. The last thing Jess would want is for them to think she's into girls. I know it's petty, but I'm just so mad right now. Hey guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. It would really help me out. Thanks. I think a lot of guys have this odd idea that a woman cheating with a woman is somehow only like 2/3 of what cheating with a man is, and I'm getting a sense that you are holding this view as well. Look, this isn't recorded romance. They weren't going to ask you to join. It wasn't an experiment, it was 100% cheating. Your girlfriend planned and decided ahead of time that she wanted to have romance with someone that wasn't you. So she did. You shouldn't be thinking this of this any differently than if you had walked in on her giving a guy a mouth romance, signing a lease, her texting that she is sorry. You wouldn't be hearing apologies if she hadn't been caught. Her being hot. None of those are things that are going to fix a relationship where one party cheats and then blames the other person for it. Is my 40 female, husband, 50 male, having an affair, about to have an affair. For some background, we've been married 3 years and we have an almost 2-year-old daughter. Our marriage is not without your typical disagreements, moments of humanity, but it is otherwise great. He is a great husband and father, and I have never doubted him or his fidelity. However, today, I picked up his phone to Google something. He has a passcode, but we know each other's, and his Instagram was open. I don't have one, so I scrolled through his pictures and he has a bunch of us. Our daughter, his parents, working out. He's a personal trainer at a gym, and food. Nothing weird or suspicious. Then I saw a message pop up, and it said, "Sorry I miss you today. I was in a rush. Let's catch up another time." It was from a girl who, from the looks of her Instagram, is maybe early to mid 20 seconds, is very attractive, and goes to his gym. I know this is somewhat wrong, but I couldn't help myself. I looked through their previous messages starting from late October, and it goes like this. Bear with me as I go through this timeline. Husband sends a promotional picture of an event at the gym. "Hey, hope you'll make it. We'd love to have you there." Girl, "Hi, looks fun. I don't have any friends who are interested in fitness, but maybe I'll go." H, "You should make more friends who are inclined to exercise. Here's my number in case you need anything." Types his number. I checked his text history. Wrong, I know. And it doesn't look like they've texted or called, but the timestamp in their Instagram inbox history shows that a week later, she's restarted, continued the conversation. G, "Just purchased my ticket." H, "Awesome. I'm confident it will be a fun night." About a week after that, 2 nights ago, Friday, is the event. I knew about it before I found these messages as it's an annual event, and I chose not to go this year, but my husband went. He didn't act or dress suspiciously before or after he went out, but based on the timestamp, I found out that after he came home, he messaged her again, and the conversation is, "H, hope you enjoyed the event. Let's hang out sometime." G, "I did. It was a ton of fun." And yay, "Sure." H, "Great. Want to grab a bite or go bowling? When are you free?" G, "I'm usually free on the weekends. I'll be at the gym tomorrow. Let's chat then." H, "Sounds good." G, "This evening, minutes ago. Sorry I miss you today. I was in a rush. Let's catch up another time." After reading those specific messages, I started freaking out. He has not mentioned this girl to me, and although it only seems like they just started being friendly, flirty a couple days ago, I am feeling ill just thinking about them being together at the event. I have no reason not to trust my husband, but is this now a reason? He is of course allowed to have friends of all genders, as am I, but I feel uncomfortable that he gave her his number and asked to hang out. She must know he's married with a daughter because of the pictures, but I don't know, maybe they're into each other. What do you think? Is this conversation an affair waiting to happen? And what should I do? Confront him. Here is my eye-opening and cathartic update, at least the one I'm allowed within 48 Hz. Thank you all for your helpful replies of advice. I really needed an unbiased opinion to help me sort through my thoughts. I had an awful night's sleep. My husband fell asleep while I was showering, so fortunately or unfortunately, I wasn't able to confront him last night, and unfortunately I woke up feeling worse. Bear with me as I am writing this through tears, and am very emotional, more so than yesterday after some of your replies calmed me down, and I decided to look at his phone this morning while he was in the shower to see if he had replied to her message. This is what I found. H, in response to her last message, "I'm sorry too, smile emoji. Hope you had a great weekend. Are you free anytime next weekend or this week after 6? H, keep up what you're doing. You look great. G, I got sick from being out in the cold on Friday. I'm free Weds or Saturday. H, sorry to hear that. Hope you feel better soon. Great. Does dinner Weds at 6:30 work for you? G, thanks. I hope I get better soon too. That time works for me. Will any other members, trainers be joining us? We should make it a group thing. I see the same people at the gym all the time, but I don't really actually know anyone. Lol. H, I hadn't asked anyone else. I hang out with my colleagues occasionally but not regularly. I had in mind to get to know you better, your gym experiences and such. If that's okay, we could do, names a mid-range restaurant. G, oh okay, gotcha. Sounds good. See you Weds at 6:30. H, great. Gives her address to restaurant. Be well till then. It shows that she's seen the message, but she has yet to reply. But I'm done. I'm done checking messages, because it is more than enough to ask him what the fcake is going on. He's telling her she looks great. He asked her to out to this restaurant where the lowest price for an appetizer is $17. He wants to get to know her better. He still hasn't told me about it. Her, and some of you are saying she doesn't seem interested, but she agreed to it. Oh, and fun fact, I found out she's 26. I am shaking and crying and I still can't even tell if I'm overreacting. He has posted videos of his clients exercising before and described them as beautiful, hot, and fit in the captions. My husband will be home and about for hers. My daughter is at my mom's, and I just returned from work reliving what I discovered this morning as I typed this. I truly do not know how to approach this situation non-confrontationally to get the honest truth out of him. I am that livid and confused. I never thought I would be here in this dilemma, but here I am. Just thought I'd update. How should I approach him now? Too long didn't read. Is my husband about to start an affair? It absolutely sounds like your husband is trying to initiate a date with this woman versus a friendship. Casually. Without confrontation, bring her up. I was scrolling through your Instagram and noticed that goes to your gym. Who is she? If he gets angry, defensive, or lies about her as just being some random woman he doesn't know, you have your answer in regards to his intentions with her. My heart just dropped at the idea of your reply being true. I do not want to jump to conclusions, but my mind is spinning. He's on his phone now playing music while he cooks, and I'm shaking. I will bring this up tomorrow, when he comes back from work. Do you think they've already hung out? Have been seeing each other before this? Update is my 40 female. Husband, 50 male, about to have an affair. Thank you for all of your helpful advice and supportive, sympathetic words. I want to provide an update as to what transpired since my post. I wasn't sure if I wanted to post an update because I do not think I'm handling this well or valiantly. I didn't pack up his clothes or call a divorce lawyer or do anything but feel sorry for myself. So I'm a bit embarrassed, but I've decided writing it out might help. This is long. Sorry. This is what happened. Monday night, waited for my husband to come home after work, and he walked in around 9. He was acting totally normal, and I waited for him to change into his relaxing clothes. To be less confrontational, our daughter was at my mom's. When he Saturday, across from me at the dining room table. We just talked casually and then I said, hey, so I was Googling Ziz on your phone and your Instagram was open, and while I was looking through your pics, this girl messaged you. Is she new to the gym? He looked confused and I tried to look neutral. Didn't want him gauging responses based on my reactions. And then a few seconds later, he was like, oh yeah, her name, she's not really that new, but she's been going there a lot recently, and I wanted to get to know what she was about and how she's been fitting in at the gym. I know my husband is friendly and will often randomly chat up strangers, but like you guys know, I felt weird about this. So I basically told him I saw their messages to meet up on Weds and asked if she was going to be a new client of his. He is an independent trainer at this gym. The gym has its own membership, but he works on his own in the space. At first he said maybe, and then when I pointed out that she didn't mention interest in personal training in the messages, he was like, oh well no, she wants to be a gym member, not a client of mine. I asked him why he didn't mention her, the dinner to me, and he said he didn't think there was anything to mention. So I dropped it. I felt like I was handling this badly, and that I was grasping at straws for the sake of continuing this conversation. We didn't speak about it for the rest of the night, except when he asked me randomly before bed, so what are you mad about? I asked him why he thought I was mad, and he just said I've been acting strange ever since he mentioned the girl. I said it was nothing, and that was it. Wednesday night, I decided to trust my husband and keep my faith in him and did not bring it up at all the next day. Tuesday, Wednesday morning, I ask if he's still going out to meet this girl and he says yeah, and I might go out with some of the other trainers. Again, I decided to be trusting because he's my husband after all, and why would I doubt every word he's saying? Wednesday night comes and I try so hard not to think about what they're talking about, doing, etc. I kept reminding myself that he didn't lie to me, so it's not fishy, weird. But then 9:30 p.m. rolls around, and I'm freaking out inside, so I text, hey, hope your meeting is going well. Home soon? And he replies 45 minutes later saying, yep, in a cab right now. Him coming in at 11 is not unusual. Sometimes he works until 10. Sometimes he hangs out with long-term clients who are always men. However, when he gets home, I ask him if he had a good time, and what they talked about, and if she was liking the gym, and wanted to be a client. I was trying to sound like I assumed it was professional, and all he told me was that they talked about her eating, exercise lifestyle, his clients, and travel. Again, I decide not to press it. Thursday, something still wasn't sitting right with me that next day, and I checked his text messages that evening while he was exercising. So much for faith and not checking messages, right? And this is what I found. G, Wednesday evening. Hey, I'm on my way, but maybe a few minutes late. G. Here, I'm sitting at the right when you walk in. H. Okay, be there in 5H. 12:06 a.m. on what is now technically Thursday. About 1:05 Hearse after he got home. Hey, hope you got home safely. Thanks for sharing time with me. I really enjoyed your company. Much more than I would have imagined. I hope I can see you soon. How about Saturday? G, 8:30 a.m. Hey, my pleasure. Thanks again for dinner. I have a potluck on Saturday, but maybe another day. And when I checked again about an hour later to see if he answered, the messages were deleted. That gutted me. I was really upset by what I found, and I decided to speak to someone, not a marriage counselor yet, so I called my brother and told him everything. One of the reasons I wrote on here was because the anonymity makes it easy to admit embarrassing things like your husband may be having an affair, but I feel like I need to tell someone close to me at least. My brother basically told me that he thinks my husband has a crush on this woman, and that either she doesn't know he's married, or is looking to make friends at the gym. He doesn't wear a wedding band when he trains. Tweet, and needs to not be friends with my husband. Oh, and I need to shut it down. I know crushes happen. Theoretically, but the idea was crushing me. So this morning, Friday, I told my husband I want to talk to him after work, and so when he gets home in a bit, I'm going to tell him everything I know, but more importantly how I feel about this situation. Update from last night, I told my husband everything, that I saw the text messages too, that I think he has a crush on this girl, and that I am unhappy with it, and if he is committed to the marriage and his wife, then he will stop all of the communication. At first he kept saying over and over that they're just new friends, that why would she be interested anyway, and they weren't romantic on basically the dinner that they went on, and that she talks to other trainers at the gym, so it's not like the two of them are only friends with each other. So I pointed out that he pursued a date with her, didn't tell me about her on his own like he should with an innocent friend. He texts her flirty things like about enjoying her company, he asked her out again, and he deleted the messages, and all that stuff, and that it all is inappropriate and just flat out deception, lies, and wrong in a marriage. He kept on saying that he was just deleting stuff off his phone indiscriminately, that he doesn't question me about stuff on my phone, that I need to trust him and the kind of person he is. He has always been a kind person, who would give a shirt off his back to help a friend, and he wasn't serious about seeing her again. That's when I lost it and just yelled at him that that is a bold-faced lie, that he's cheating by being attracted to someone and pursuing this attraction by spending time with her alone, and flirting, sending her texts at midnight, and that I never signed up to marry a liar or unfaithful man, and that I was going to go for a separation. He didn't even say anything to that. No reply, nothing. I felt so defeated after that I just started crying, and I stopped speaking, and he kept trying to hug me and console me. I didn't even want him to touch me, so I asked point blank, "Do you like her?" And he said that yes, he does. That's when he broke down crying too and kept apologizing over and over and saying he feels guilty. I asked him if they slept together or did anything physical, and he completely denied it. I don't think they did, but why all of a sudden feel guilty? And my trust is broken. So I asked, and he just kept saying he thought she was pretty and a nice person at the gym, and he liked to hang around her. We talked about it for a long time. I wanted to know of all the details. I asked if he told her he was married. He said he didn't tell her explicitly, but she saw his Instagram, so he knows she knows. I told him again how much it hurts me, and that they can't be friends because of this, and that he needs to delete her on Instagram and stop texting her. He said he would text her that they can't meet up anymore as a final text, but that he didn't want to delete her as a friend on Instagram because it's more work related. That made me feel still uncomfortable. So I told him he doesn't need to be friends with her as she is not even a client. I want to trust him that it was just a crush, and even if he can't quit working at this specific gym, he can quit communicating outside of it. We decided to think about marriage counseling. He thinks we can work strengthening our marriage, spending more time together, without outside help, and I kind of agree. I don't know what MC would tell us about this situation that can help us, but I am not opposed to going. So that is where we are now. Too long didn't read. Update, my husband is on his way to an affair, or at the very least, I definitely don't have a good feeling about your husband's intentions, but I don't think this woman is interested. It seems like she agreed to the first dinner before finding out it was one and one, then went to be polite, and then made an excuse to get out of the second. Regardless of her intentions, if he's willing to try to make something happen with this woman, I assume he'll be just as ready to give it a shot with another in the future.